Exactly 1 minute past the hour of 10 o'clock. Welcome to the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold, Mugalu, Mohammed on sign language. We can now give you the headlines before we start with the bulletin. In our headlines tonight, Kadaga to run as an independent. Furthermore, anxiety tangles NRM MPs as they head to Entebbe State House. And then lava reaches Goma Airport in Democratic Republic of Congo, volcanic eruption. And in sports, Bell Golf ushers in new club executive. As is.
Olanya. So you take the new running order, right?
Yes.
Olanya.
I don't see. I see NRM caucus, Kadaga press. Yes, welcome to the news in detail. To start out our bulletin tonight, the former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, has been endorsed by the Central Executive Committee to stand for Speaker of the 11th Parliament in a voting exercise that is to be held tomorrow at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. Now, the two names, Rebecca Kadaga and Jacob Olanya, were presented to the NRM topmost body by the NRM Party Electoral Commission for vetting. This took place at State House in Entebbe, where the NRM Parliamentary Caucus convened to receive the position of SEC on the Speaker and Deputy Speaker positions.
Yes, the day is tomorrow. What's your message to the NRM Secretary, Central Executive Committee, and the voters tomorrow, the parliamentarians?
Honorable members, I thank you for what happened yesterday with the Central Executive Committee, which started working yesterday and completed its work today. The recommendations that were brought to you, you adopted as members of Parliament who are constituting the 11th Parliament. The first sitting of the Parliament tomorrow will be to elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. That's the first business. I'm calling upon you to come together and do just that. The NRM as a party has selected me, Jacob Olanya Lokori, to carry the flag of the NRM tomorrow in the elections for the Speaker. I urge all of you to come together. I will work together with all of you. I'll not carry the burden of the campaign into the management of Parliament. I promise that I'll work with all of you. Does not matter what happened in the campaign, that is behind us. A decision has been made. Let's come together and serve the people of this country. Let's make this parliament a people's parliament. Let's make this parliament focus on the two main things that we should achieve for our people: the national interest and better service delivery for our people, for their socio-economic transformation. That is the mandate that people gave us. Let's deliver on those purposes and we'll be better. We'll work together. I insist again, I repeat, we will not think about what happened in the campaigns. The campaigns are over. Let's work together to build our country, support our people to grow, make them create more wealth for themselves and look after their families. That is what this parliament should do, and we intend to do that very, very well.
Now, furthermore, the NRM Secretary General Honorable Kasule Lumumba has asked Honorable Rebecca Kadaga to appreciate the 10 years given to her by the party to serve as the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda. This comes after Kadaga announced her intention to stand for the position of Speaker on an independent ticket, after the Central Executive Committee did not consider her for the same position and endorsed Jacob Olanya, who has been her deputy for 10 years.
The party gave you 2 terms as a deputy speaker, 2 terms as a speaker, and all of the 4 terms you went through unopposed. If the party has taken a decision to endorse somebody else and somebody has been endorsed, please, in all fairness, don't antagonize the party. Go and sit with the leadership of the party, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and be given other responsibilities so that others are also given the responsibility to lead the party, to lead Parliament, and with you, your experience, you'd be the best advisor to them so that we make Parliament better in serving the Ugandans as we secure their future. Because if you say it must be you, then that is not the NRM spirit. Let's have patriotism. Look at it, because you know it very well. But most importantly, NRM is a party with all inclusiveness. Please, we need this inclusiveness to be embraced by everybody. But also, most importantly, leadership is not always easy. There is also self-restraint that you must practice, but also sometimes it's painful.
Now, the outgoing Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, says that she will contest for the position as Speaker of the 11th Parliament as an independent candidate. Kadaga revealed this to journalists at an impromptu press conference in Kampala. Kadaga's decision follows an earlier decision by the NRM's Central Executive Committee to endorse Jacob Olanya as NRM's candidate for the post. Let's take a look.
Former Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Kadaga says she will contest as Speaker of the 11th Parliament as an independent candidate. She revealed this to journalists at an impromptu press conference in Kampala.
The Ugandans have come to inform the people of Uganda that my party, the NRM party, has opted not to give me the party flag for position of Speaker of Parliament. I've therefore decided to contest.
According to Kadaga, the scheme to fail her candidature was allegedly a well-orchestrated move by some elements within the party.
There have been many attempts to eject me from the party leadership. You recall during the SEC elections last year, there was tremendous state interference, intimidation, funding. But I won the contest of second national vice chair.
Midway through her brief handwritten statement, Kadaga's voice started quavering as she made it clear that her campaign was hinged on fighting for the rights of women and ordinary Ugandans.
And the major reason I'm being pressed out is because of speaking on the issues of the ordinary people. I want to assure you, the people, that I will continue speaking on those issues. Secondly, despite the constitutional provisions, the position of the women has been relegated.
Although she declined to take questions from the journalist pool, the Lusoga version of her statement resonated passion. Kadaga, who is the first woman to be elected Speaker of Parliament, also called upon the electorate to ask their members of Parliament to vote for her this Monday, 24th May 2021, at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. Samuel Senono, Ubc News.
Now, there was a semblance of a party at Kololo ceremonial grounds as members of parliament boarded buses to Entebbe State House for the NRM Parliamentary Caucus. At the back of their mind of these NRM members of the 11th Parliament was the election of the Speaker.
It was a mood of dances, it was a mood of praises, it was a mood of chanting here at Kololo Independence Grounds as members of the NRM party were preparing to head to Entebbe State House to take part in the election of voting for the Speaker's race for the coming 11th Parliament. National Resistance Movement members of Parliament early this Sunday boarded the buses to Entebbe from Kololo Independence Grounds with one mission to elect a new Speaker and Deputy.
We appeal to SEC, the topmost organ of the party, to consider to also be consistent because it gave Kadaga 10 years. It should also give Olanya 10 years to steer legislation, and then we see what happens with the next parliament.
I feel really no one should fail to support Kadaga. Kadaga has been a punching box for members of parliament. So this is the time that we need to just pay her back.
Clad in their party colors and chanting the names of their preferred candidates for the highly coveted job of Speaker and Deputy of the August House, the MPs seemed resolute.
There's a talk of people come serve God. It is time to give in another bunch of team to come.
Is it only a woman who has to serve and go? Is it only a woman who has to come and serve and go?
I know voting is necessary, but one person will be taken for every position. And therefore, if yours is not taken, still we should agree that one was to take.
The legislators enchanted, intoned, jazzed with some extending to phone calls as they hiked the buses with anxiety visible on their faces as they marched to Entebbe to elect their new Speaker and Deputy.
Today is a dead day. We are finalizing, we are concluding. Today, our candidate, the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, will emerge a victor.
Some of the MPs poured out their expectations and wishes about the day's showdown, the cause of their anxiety.
First and foremost, we've been with Kadaga, for us who have been in 10th Parliament. And she has been chairing well. She has balanced all the political parties. She's a mother to all of us. So now why should I run away from Kadaga?
I actually believe that it is time for Olanya to come in to unify this parliament. We are at par with the community, imagine.
The winners of the NRM speakership race is crucial because it will determine the final results during the first sitting of parliament expected for Kololo ceremonial grounds this Monday.
It is my prayer after the end of the whole process of electing a speaker, let us be united, let us be one as NRM, as a party.
My major concern is that the outcome of this should not divide the party in any way. So I want to call upon the members and our leaders who are making the decisions that whatever decisions that we make should not leave the NRM party worse off than it is.
Still here at Kololo Independence Ground, it will be in this tent that the first session of the 11th Parliament will be convening come Monday 24th May 2021 in a session which is going to be attended by the head of state Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Top on the agenda or on the order paper will be the election of the speaker and the deputy speaker. We anticipate from here next it will be a party. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
In other news, dairy farmers in Chiruhura district, Western Uganda, want government to find them a sustainable and stable market for their product. Their appeal follows a drop in milk prices from 1,000 shillings per litre to 500 shillings per litre in just 2 months. Besides the milk price issue, in the recent months, farmers in Western Uganda have grappled with foot and mouth disease that has negatively impacted their livelihoods. These are the details.
The drop of farm gate prices of fresh milk in Western Uganda is hurting dairy farming in Chiruhura district.
hariho period y'emirundi ebiri kuruga omu kwezi kwa kana kuruga omu kwezi kwa kana kuhika hati mu kwezi okwa gatano amateka gashazire emirundi 3 omu kwezi okwa kana tukatija siringi 9 hafamu hatiri hari bitano.
We had a similar occurrence last year in 2020 at the beginning when milk prices went as low as 300 shillings per liter, and we even had some closures for like almost 2 months. This year it began off fairly well, apart from the issues of the outbreak of foot and mouth disease, but the price has been stable regardless of the rains.
With milk prices on free fall, farmers are encountering many challenges. Amongst them, difficulty in paying the laborers, treatment of diseases and curbing pests, and access to quality feeds.
The money we are getting, it's just being spent on the farm. Because now the cows are sick. We had the problem of ticks. We are having now a problem of foot and mouth. So if you put on also, you add on buying a car side, you can spend all the money on the farm.
Dairy farming is one of the main economic activities in the Ankole sub-region. Farmers here, owning vast chunks of land, continue to embrace exotic cattle breeds such as Jersey and Frisian. The shift from the indigenous Ankole breed of cattle is driven by the social and economic goals of the community here. Milk processing facilities such as Pearl Dairy continue to positively influence the dairy enterprise development. The farmers' call to government and relevant authorities is to help find them a lucrative and all-year-round market within the region and internationally.
There is no market for the milk. Previously, in the last year, Kenya dropped to buy milk from processors in Uganda, especially the Pearl Dairy. Pearl Dairy had a lot of market with Kenya, but due to the fact that the Kenyan market dropped not to take milk from Pearl Dairy as a processor in Uganda, and of which most of us farmers, we supply our milk to the processors, especially Pearl Dairy. There is also Sibiangu. There are many.
According to Norman Duho Kapapa, a farmer in Chiruhura, the milk woes might force them to diversify to other agricultural enterprises.
If we continue in this and we are not getting a market for the milk, we can also change now. We put more effort on the beef.
Farmers are almost dropping. They are going away, running away from the dairy section. They have now started fattening the bulls.
Dairy farmers say their break-even milk price at farm gate should be at least 800 shillings and above. Dennis Sigoa in Chiruhura district, Western Uganda.
Definitely something they need to find a solution for. Now, farmers in Uganda still brag of a country endowed with fertile soils, but this is now just a mindset. Soil fertility is greatly depleting with factors like population pressure and climate change. In Chiboga district, the situation is not any better. Many grain farmers suffer poor harvests as a result of poor agronomic practices and soil exhaustion. However, farmers under Sasakawa Global 2000 improved technology training are boasting of increased production. These are the details.
Nabagala Cecilia is a 70-year-old farmer at Chekumbia Parish, Luamata Sub-County in Chiboga District. Nabagala cultivates 2 acres of land, but recalls that she has never yielded more than 3 threshed bags of maize from her garden. She alternates maize farming with beans and has been harvesting less than 2 bags of beans each season. It is now 2 seasons since Nabagala joined fellow farmers in Luamata Sub-County to learn new technologies of agriculture production.
enkola eno weegenda okuntaasiza kwe kubeera nti ntegeka ennimiro yange entonotono n'engitegeka n'ensiga n'enkoola mu budde n'empummula nga seraliikiridde ate wali sinnalimawo ate wali sinnali.
The extension worker, Luamata Sub-County, and coordinator, Sasakawa Africa Association, Luamata Sub-County, Kabuye Dauda says before the coming of Sasakawa Global 2000 to Chiboga, farming was weak. Kabuye, however, says that with the introduction of new technologies, food security and nutrition has greatly improved at the household level in the region.
The farmers have adopted the technologies, and more farmers are adopting. Although the sub-county population is really very high, we think that a fifth of the sub-county has benefited, and that's around 1,000 households. We think that as the program goes on, more farmers will be adopting.
Kabuye is, however, worried of markets for farmers' produce.
We lack the market, but we are sure any market that is available, we are utilizing them. Before we got a problem of the market in Kenya, we are exporting to Kenya.
The zonal community-based facilitator for Luamata Sub-County, Elfazo Della, is one of the trained extension workers in Chiboga. He is, however, worried that farmers in the region are not yet in groups, which he says is likely to slow down development.
Let Sasakawa combine farmers, leaders, and local leaders to train people what is the food security and what is agriculture, what is the importance of the agriculture.
At least 960 families are benefiting from the Agriculture Production Improvement Program along the agricultural value chain.
Our Africa Association promotes a number of proven technologies and practices that can help the farmers increase their production and productivity. So for farmers to benefit from beans production, they have to first of all select the right variety of the beans and then follow a number of recommended agronomic practices.
Sasakawa Africa Association is also promoting high nutrition crops and vegetables as a measure to address good health in the face of COVID-19 pandemic. Dennis Igoa and Douglas Setumba for UBC News.
Furthermore, Ugandamatas University in Nkozi has held its 26th graduation ceremony that witnessed 1,144 graduates conferred upon various fields. Now, the occasion was graced by Private Sector Foundation Uganda Executive Director Gideon Badagawa, who preached caution, discipline, and hard work amidst prudent decision-making.
The journey to success in life usually starts with some modest level education that is relevant right from our formative years till advanced age. Private Sector Foundation Uganda Executive Director Gideon Badagawa, on the occasion of the 26th convocation of Ugandamatas University in Nkozi, Badagawa, however, adds that education alone is in vain if one doesn't work hard amidst discipline and the will to improve daily.
If you are not applied, the employer cannot deploy you. And if the employer can't deploy you, they will not employ you. So, going to school and getting a degree will only earn you an interview session.
Those principles, he says, will mirror the certificates, diplomas, bachelors, masters and PhDs attained after years of pursuit for excellence.
Are you emotionally intelligent? Again, this is not what we expect from the lecturer, from the classroom, where you've gone through, from education. We are looking for those practical abilities in you. So it's one thing to have the head work and get your degrees. It's another to make your hands work.
Amongst the 1,144 graduates was Sasakawa Division LC5 Councillor Moses Okwera, who advises fellow politicians to pursue further education to inform their decisions.
It's going to help us, to help me to even serve them better and even serve the entire country better with the skills. My pledge to my fellow people who are outside there, let's go back to school. If you have a degree, go for masters. If you have a senior 6, go for a degree or diploma. There are many institutions, there are many degrees, and there are many schools that can help us within the country and outside the country. So let's not have excuses for failure to go to school.
Young girls and their parents, I give them a word of encouragement by asking them to be humble, to be honest with their life, and to trust in God. That when you trust God, everything is possible.
Ugandamatas University becomes one of the latest to graduate in the era of COVID-19 pandemic, a period administration confirms has been tricky. Vincent Wamundu, Helen Barbara, reporting for Ubc TV News.
Now, the newly sworn-in members of parliament have started by highlighting key areas that they want to embark on for their electorates to benefit from government. Our reporter talked to several legislators and now shares this report.
The National Resistance Movement won Isingiro North by 95% for President Yoweri Museveni and 84% for the area MP, Lieutenant Colonel Bright Ramirama. With that now in the past, Ramirama has set out to benefit his electorates and Uganda through delivering of pledges in the NRM manifesto.
We have a challenge of water. Good news, the government gave us money for doing towards the end of the Sanja, which has just ended. I am going to make sure that that water the works on water is done very well, and people will benefit from that project. We have uncompleted business in the schools, in health centers, hospitals, and also electricity.
In Budadiri West, the messenger from the area legislator Nandalama Fabi is dedication towards fighting poverty. But all this within the rule of law. Vura County legislator Jovan Adrico insists on hard work minus politicking to enable economic and social development.
The election is over. I'm for everybody. I'm for everybody. We need unity.
Yes, now the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, urged Africans who have got the privilege to use this opportunity to preach civilization to achieve dignity. Professor Barnabas Nawangwe made these remarks at an online graduation ceremony of Tufts University of United States of America, where Professor William Bukayo was awarded an honorary doctorate degree in public health and contribution to Africans. Details follow.
University is privileged to recognize your distinctive legacy of science in service to humankind by awarding you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
Professor William Bukayo from School of Public Health has been awarded an honorary doctorate degree in public health.
Thank you, Mama Matembe.
The celebrations were marked online following the outbreak of COVID-19, and over 160 graduates were awarded doctrines in different fields from the Tufts University in Boston, USA. The Vice Chancellor, Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, said the honorary doctorate received is to help in the emancipation of Africans generally and students of Makerere University in particular.
On behalf of Makerere University, Council, Management, and Senate, let me once again congratulate you on this award. Let me once again thank you for the great work that you have done for our university, for our country, and which you continue to do.
Professor William Bukayo has been commended for contributing to the education sector in Uganda and was asked to use what he has attained in transforming especially the lives of Ugandans.
We need to resolve in our hearts that we should be the change agents that we need to translate our Uganda from a ditch of corruption, lack of integrity, lack of hard work, greed, begging spirit, all this wrong that has invaded us.
Bukayo thanked Makerere University leadership and government for the enabling environment that enabled him to exercise unreservedly in African countries. He dedicated the honorary doctorate to his late wife.
She's the only person in my life who knows how much I went through to reach this end, because we would discuss these things. And I think some of you who met her, Pietro, she would tell you that she knows so much about you, because I would tell her everything. I'm writing this, and at times I would say, but you read through. And she says, but this is your things. I say, okay, you read the English. If you don't read the what? The content. But she did a great job. And my single advice to my children, be like your mother. Yes. Be like your mother.
Professor Bukayo has been referred to as a father figure who inspires everyone to success.
Center for Tobacco Control in Africa, affiliated to WHO. He helped to co-found that. Within Resilient Africa Network here, this lab has incubated 400 innovations, young innovators. And as I speak now, we have 72 startup companies.
Us as members of the GMC, we look at you as our icon, and we are so proud of you today.
Professor William Bukayo thanked the Board of Trustees of Tufts University for recognizing his service in public health and contribution to the people of Africa. Sudat Kai and Zahara Bigaba, UBC News.
Well, it's one thing to use the mind and another to use the hands. In another development, members of parliament have been asked not to forget their voters, but to always seek a way of attending to their challenges. This advice was given by the patron of all Miracle Center Cathedral churches in the country, Pastor Robert Kayanja, while at a drive-in prayer service at Ntao Community Grounds in Mukono District.
Today, every disease in your home is coming out, and every healing is coming in your life. So Ezekiel, because of the hand of God, he prophesied. He said, let there be this. 2021, 2022, you are going to do all things. The hand of God is going to cause you to be the head and on the tail. The hand of God is going to cause you to be successful.
The budget, I'm excited because it's a big budget. A big budget is going to help many sectors in Uganda to be addressed, like education, like farming, like agriculture. Borrowing is okay, but if you are borrowing to spend, if you are borrowing for thieves to be stealing that money, then Uganda is in trouble. So the key is, let us all fight corruption. Let us all get that money and invest it in people's lives.
Okujjukira nti abantu be babatumayo, abantu be babalonda bakiikirira bantu. Parliament eye-11 eddeyo mu bantu ebasooke ebabuuze.
And that takes us for a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business. Stay tuned.
In chess, the small one can become the big one. It's the same here. And here too. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority.
developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Central Points when you deposit, send and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Ekya COVID-19 kijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
What does it mean to be closer together? It's taking the last bus home for a surprise visit. Closer together is strangers finding a connection. It's bringing home something much more than a box. It's the warmth of home, or the beginning of something new. There's magic in sharing the things that we learn, because it's those things that bring us close together.
In efforts to improve quality assurance and Uganda's competitiveness as a tourist destination, Uganda Tourism Board is set to undertake a nationwide grading and classification exercise of hotel and accommodation facilities. As a member of the East African community, Uganda subscribes to the East African Grading and Classification Criteria, a system denoted by stars ranging from 1 to 5. The grading and classification exercise will be crowned by the awarding of star ratings to facilities found compliant to the EAC minimum standards. This is therefore a call to all accommodation and facility owners and managers to register and get licensed by UTB as a requirement and get ready for participation. For more information, visit www.utb.go.ug or email qualityassurance@utb.go.ug for details. Uganda Tourism Board, promoting tourism together.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, will conduct the National Livestock Census starting on the 24th of May to the 4th of June 2021. The census is aimed at obtaining information on the structure and organization of the livestock sector and will collect data on all livestock types, breeds, and ownership by sex, land ownership, and tenure systems. The livestock census will be conducted in all the 135 districts of Uganda and will collect data from household-based firms as well as private large-scale and institutional firms. The indicators derived from the National Livestock Census will inform evidence-based planning and policy formulation. This is to inform and request all stakeholders at national, local government, sub-county, parish levels and all farmers to cooperate with enumerators and provide accurate information. For inquiries, please call 0757 779992 or 077 33 17660.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue and on YouTube under the name tag UBC Television Uganda. Now, the number of women doing business in Uganda is on the rise at different levels to contribute to Uganda's economy. Women's commitment, transparency, and constant engagement with authorities are some of the issues or reasons that the Lira resident city commissioner, Lawrence Egole, promises to support in a bid to build Lira City. Now, at least 42 women groups out of 45 benefited from NUSA 3 under the Livelihood Investment Support component.
I hand over this check to Hard Work Pays Group.
Although northern Uganda is yet to fully recover from previous political conflicts, efforts are on to fully stabilize the region. 45 groups in Lira City received their checks for NUSA 3 under Livelihood Investment Support, of which 42 are women groups.
May you use it for the benefit of your group. Thank you very much.
We have seen that the women of this region can be very industrious, and they have proved that they can be better business managers and even in politics. So we are encouraging our women now to come forth and engage in business.
Lira resident city commissioner Lawrence Egole said, unlike in the past where women were kept redundant, the NRM government is now mobilizing them to participate in development.
We are encouraging our leaders at all levels. Let's mobilize women. Women can do it. And this city, this infant city, can be built by women if we engage them fully in business.
Actually, the group led by women do better than those of men. They tend to be a little bit more active. They're a little more sincere, open, and interactive.
The 15 village groups from 32 market groups in Lira City, majorly dealing in produce, matoke, tomatoes and vegetables selling among others, received 36,290,000 each to increase on their productive assets and household incomes. However, most program failures are attributed to limited technical support.
I think that aspect was also lacking, which we are now trying to see that our technical team do their work. The technical people must do what they are paid to do because they are supposed to guide our people to success. If you don't guide, you don't blame them. Blame yourself, for you will have failed in your responsibility.
A total of 195 million was given to 45 groups and 71 million shillings was retained for more 12 groups that was not yet ready to receive the funds.
This money is for them and it's permanent there at the VRF. Their work would be getting the money, doing the business, returning it, or paying back. That's all. So the money is there forever for their grandchildren.
With some positive results from these programs, leaders are asking government to consider the continuity of affirmative action for northern Uganda. Ediolua, UBC News.
Furthermore, Chiyindi is a vibrant silverfish and mudfish landing site along the shores of Lake Victoria in Buyikwe district, formerly Mukono. Women are the main players in this business that is dominated by processing and marketing of silverfish, also known as mokene. With training from Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, women have had their livelihoods changed for the better.
We are trying to add value to the silverfish such that the consumption of this fish is increased. And indeed, we appreciate this consumption.
Silverfish, mokene processing and trade is changing women's social and financial status among fishing communities around Lake Victoria shorelines.
The consumption and people testing our products, they are seeing it has no sand, it has no those animal droppings. They have picked interest. We have put surety. They have put surety in us.
At Chiyindi landing site in Buyikwe district, a group of women fishers are doing well, mainly out of silverfish processing, trading and feeding of their families.
The additional value to the mokene products. And we have already seen I think you have improved from the trading ones. I can see a lot of products here.
Operating under Chiyindi Women Fish Processors Association, the women received fellow women and youth fishers from Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, and host Uganda who have been in the country for silverfish handling training, courtesy of Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization.
The women are using, especially they depend on weather, on the rain, on the sun, to dry the daga or the mukene. So the Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, being an organization that coordinates and harmonizes the fisheries management and development aspects in the East African community, saw it fit training technical people, youth and women value chain actors in areas of mukene handling, processing and packaging, so that they are able to
the women, youth and some fishers were undergoing 3-day training facilitated by Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization with support from the Directorate of Fisheries, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries.
When you look at the stocks, daga is number 1. When you look at the catches, daga is number 1. The price or the revenue from Nile perch is higher, but daga is the highest in catches, and it is starting to play very critical role, more than even tilapia, in food and nutrition security.
You can see I'm very passionate about mukene and daga. I've been involved in this industry, well, my family has been involved in this industry for over 30 years. Here in Uganda, we've been involved since 2005.
Chiende Women's Association chairperson, Peruth Logose, says the fisherwomen have had their livelihoods improved as a result of dealing mainly in silverfish.
Mindset changing training for women and youth, because for me I came as a woman and another colleague of mine is a youth.
Kwa mimi kwa jamii yangu itabidi niwaeleze umuhimu wa dagaa, kwa sababu dagaa ni mazao ambayo ni bora kwa afya zetu na ina thamani kubwa sana kulikoni bidhaa zingine.
As we have come to the training, we have learned some of the factors how people have added value in omena, mostly in Uganda and Tanzania.
The Chindi landing site women fisher folk will now perform better with support from government and a fresh training from Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization. Chindi landing site is the hub of silverfish business around Lake Victoria, and for this, it has attracted the support of Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization.
Us and we be the trainers of all the women.
Why
we
not?
Shall do it.
Yes.
Other major types of fish caught along Chindi landing site include tilapia, Nile perch, catfish, in addition to silverfish, mukene, and mudfish, nkechi.
These are the products.
This is Ntula and what?
Just Ntula
and the
mukene. Yeah.
Chiyindi or Chiyindi? Perhaps pronunciation just got me off the balance. Anyhow, acting Saint Balikudembe market chairperson Susan Kushaba has emphasized the need to address key issues like rent fees in order for market vendors to benefit from their trade. This was during her latest tour in the market to gather ideas of how best working relationships between administration and traders are boosted.
When Susan Kushaba assumed the mantle of chairperson for St. Balikudembe Market, she promised the stakeholders harmonious working relations. Based on her actions, this seems factual and has been evidenced during her tour of the market, seeking ideas to enable progress. The major Achilles heel traders are shared with her is the exorbitant rent that derails any profits.
The landlords, they are asking a lot of money. You can find a small space, but they are renting it on the higher rate, and it is affecting them because money is no longer there. They don't have money, and you know that COVID has really affected the market section. So we call upon to His Excellency to intervene in this, to make an order or directive on those landlords, because it has become a habit to just to squeeze these tenants in the markets, not even a winner only. all markets are suffering the same thing.
Kushaba still maintains a pursuit for better service delivery like provision of lights that will facilitate traders working shifts, especially after COVID-19. St. Balikudembe has more than 10,000 traders and ranks up there as the best market in the country.
Furthermore, the ignorance of creative artists in Uganda about the copyright law is challenging their potential to earn sustainable revenues from their works. Now, considering the number of investments put into creating works, it is prudent that creative artists understand and utilize all the available technological and policy opportunities. In this part, we sought to find out to what extent the copyright law can solve challenges in Uganda's music industry. For more than 8 decades, the largest number of musicians in Uganda have been primarily earning off live music shows or concerts, as opposed to royalties, the earnings that come from using an artist's musical work in any value chain that requires it. However, it took the 2020 COVID-19 lockdowns for most musicians to acknowledge the value of an organized policy-led music industry.
This entire situation has been a wake-up call for musicians because things like streaming, the whole music business in general, is something we had ignored. There are so many artists who didn't have that knowledge, who didn't know how do I get my music on these platforms, or if it's there, how do I earn?
In Uganda, the Uganda Communications Commission and the Uganda Registration Services Bureau are the main policy stakeholders responsible for enforcing the copyright law. But to what extent is it applicable to the music industry today?
The principle of copyright and content is that you cannot use content without getting authorization from the owner. Okay, that is just the basic principle. And once that is not respected, then you go into the realm of copyright infringement, which will require the legal system to come after you. Okay, so the first thing is that before you use any content, there has to be authorization from the content owner.
The value chain in the music industry starts from the composition of the lyrics and the melodies of a song by the writer. It is then produced in the studio by a producer. At this stage, all parties must agree on who owns the song. Thereafter, the owner ought to copyright the song at the URSB before handing it over to any distributor or broadcaster. This ensures that they have full economic rights of the song.
The whole system of copyright ends up in money. It's commerce. Copyright is an economic law. It is not really so much of an ownership law. Ownership is a means to an end, to that end, that these people have to make money. Okay, that is what we are looking at. That is what the economy looks at. That is what the whole framers of the copyright doctrine look at, that we are all looking at money somewhere.
To earn money off a copyrighted song, an artist must be registered with a licensed collective management organization that is responsible for collecting musicians' revenue from all parties that use this music commercially.
Imagine that somebody who has over 100 songs. How do you monitor the usage and how do you collect usage from that? So our role as UPRS is to go out there and represent the artists and collect from commercial users and put that money in a kitty, and then we distribute to them, the artists, the owners of the works, every so often.
Broadcast houses, the largest consumers of audiovisual musical works, have to a greater extent been faulted for undermining the copyright law and being the biggest blockade to enforcing revenue collection.
Nowadays things have changed. You go to radio stations, you go to TV stations, wherever you meet, at least they want kitu kidogo, something small. You need to like put something there.
There is a time came where we had actually determined the tariffs. The tariffs to say that these are the tariffs to be paid. And those tariffs, together with the collective management organization, they were supposed to be channeled through the collective management organization, and it was supposed to distribute them. But I think there is still a failure in broadcasters that they are helping. There is that sense, you know.
In 2019, UCC set out to enforce on broadcasters a 70% local content quota, which saw more Ugandan musical content on both radio and television. However, did this mean more revenue for local musicians? In the next part series of this story, we delve deeper into how the 2006 copyright and neighboring rights law can be used by artists to grow professionally. Wadulo, Arnold,
UBC News.
We shall now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
Thousands of people have fled their homes in the Democratic Republic of Congo after a large volcano erupted. Fountains of high lava burst from Mount Nyiragongo into the night sky, forming a red, thick cloud over the town of Goma, that is Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, bordering with Uganda, which has a population of 2 million people. The lava flow reached the city's airport but has reportedly now stopped. The volcano, located 10 kilometers, which is 6 miles from Goma, last erupted in 2002, killing 250 people and making 120,000 people homeless. During the early hours of Sunday, many residents headed across the nearby Rwandan border, while others went to higher grounds to west of the city. Crowds were seen with mattresses and other belongings fleeing even before the government's announcement, which came several hours later after the eruption started. Rwandan authorities say that about 3,000 people had officially crossed from Goma. The country's state media say that they would be accommodated in schools and places of worship. One Goma resident, Richard Bahati, said that he was in his house when he heard screaming. Electricity was cut out across large areas, and one highway that connects Goma with the city of Beni was engulfed by the lava. There was also reports of earthquakes. In another development, 21 runners have died after extreme weather struck a long-distance race in northern western China. High winds after freezing rain hit participants in the 100-kilometer ultra-marathon in the Yellow River Stone Forest, a tourist site in Gansu province, on Saturday. The race was halted when some of the 172 runners went missing, and a rescue operation was launched. Many of the stranded runners reportedly suffered from hypothermia. Officials said 151 runners were now confirmed safe and that 8 of them were injured. The race began at 9 local time on Saturday, with some of the competitors setting off wearing just shorts and t-shirts. Surviving participants said the forecast had shown some wind and rain was anticipated, but nothing as extreme as what they experienced. In the world of sports, Captain's Bell Golf Tournament climaxed Saturday night with an excellent participants awarded prizes. I'll take that again. Captain's Bell Golf Tournament climaxed Saturday night with all excelling participants awarded prizes in different categories. Uganda Golf Club captain Dr. Alex Gutino explained that the tournament is played to usher in Uganda Golf Club executive for the next 1 year. Let's take a look.
This tournament brings together golfers to compete for several trophies, and it kicks off the beginning of a new management team with new ideas and new plans. We want to improve.
Gutino says the club wants to enhance the growth and development of golf amongst youth and children with the aim of changing the notion that golf is a sport for the rich and retired public servants.
Well, if you look around here, it's not only rich people who are here, and clearly we try our best to make golf affordable, not just here in Uganda Golf Club, but in all of the clubs around Uganda. I think Uganda is quite unique that the people who play golf represent all sectors of society. But yes, you're right. The young people are the most important. And during the holidays, we have camps for young people to teach as young as 4, 5, 6, 7 the fundamentals of golf. In future, we hope maybe to put together a golf academy with other partners so that people who are interested in learning not just how to play golf, but all the other things that go with being a golfer, and especially the girl child, so that it's not just boys who are playing golf, but that we have a strong, balanced team in the future.
The management director, Absa Group Limited, Mumba Kalifungwa, who took part in the tournament, asserted that Absa is committed to supporting sports as a corporate social responsibility, just like the saying, sport is wealth.
Absa, we are committed to the development of sport in the country. So for us, participating or sponsoring a tournament of this nature is just testament to how we are committed to sports development, because as you know, health is wealth nowadays, and participating in activities that promote the well-being of people is something that is at the core of our citizenship agenda. And for us, it was quite critical that we get involved in this particular tournament as we kick off and acknowledge the new administration that's taking over the golf club.
Mumba, being a first-time player of golf, explained his experience while on the course.
Beautiful experience. My first 18 holes, I played with very good players who were very patient with me, so it was a very enriching experience, and I would encourage a number of people to say, look, golf is a healthy sport, it's a challenging sport, but very healthy, very engaging, and it just exposes you to a different way of stress relief.
The overall winner in the men's category was Agre Mutaka with 65 points net, while in the ladies category, Lin Lee with 60 points net. Meanwhile, in the professional category, Ronald Rugmayo outclassed his opponents with 139 gross points. The best performers were awarded during a dinner held at the golf club. Helen Barbara Jizamba, Andre Sebila, reporting for Ubc TV News.
What do you know about golf and being a stress reliever? In other news, Nesta Chigundu, Nigo Mohammed, Rosebel Birungi, and Zabib have emerged respective category winners at the RM Championship hosted at ISK Fit for Life Gym in Ndeba. The championship aimed at selecting a team to representing Uganda at the African Championship due later this year. Let's take a look.
Some of Uganda's best powerlifters have taken part in the 2021 RM Championship. Hosted at ISK Fit for Life Gym in Ndeba, the championship attracted 29 participants spread across both genders and included para-athletes. The tournament, organized under the auspices of Uganda Powerlifting Federation, aimed at choosing a team to represent Uganda at the upcoming African Championship.
Zira kumbeera nga kubadde jimu zibadde nzigala okumala almost omwaka mulamba abantu badde tetraininga tebalya bulungi, so okusinziira kubakazanya naddala abasoose kuba abo babadde nga bakatenlayiza abagenda okuddako ab'ettabbo bakyagenda maaso bajja abasoose balaze omutindo mulungi nnyo okusinziira ku kye tubadde tubasuubiramu, era tusuubira nti ate weyiti eziddako ezigenda okuweereza waggulu zigenda kubeera za kasameeme.
Ultimately, Nesta Chigundu emerged overall champion in the open category after managing a 635 kilograms, while Suleiman Sembate in second lifted 505. For the women's open category, Zabib bin Hafra won, while in the women's para category, Rosebel Birungi triumphed. In the men's para category, Nigo Mohammed used this occasion to prepare for upcoming international meets. Participants contested the three major categories of bench, squat, and deadlift. John Barnes, Centum, reporting.
Furthermore, the first ever commercial swimming championship has entered match day 2 at British School, Kampala. Now, this match day between teams Colts and Team Talons revealed so much passion from the swimmers, as these details share with us.
As a way of improving the quality of swimming in Uganda, stakeholders improvised a new tournament and named it Commercialized Swimming League. It's a brainchild of Altona Sports Foundation and British School of Kampala, which is the key partner and provides the swimming pool infrastructure. It's between two teams, Colts and Talons, that will by the end of their contest against each other on 28 occasions, with points collected to determine the champions. The league is played as a season with 7 editions of 4 match days each and is open to any interested party. Organizers reserve the right of admission either through scouting for swimmers or via application. But whoever is chosen must first meet basic qualification standards. The manner of organization dictates that on each particular competition day, only one of the known swimming styles is competed for. For example, on the opening day of this league about a fortnight ago, the teams contested butterfly, while on match day 2, it was freestyle. This league is unprecedented for Uganda and will climax with cash prizes rather than the usual trophies and medals for the winners. A cash prize weights various excellent performers, including one who gathers most points, one who sets a league record, overall winners, and importantly, all that take part will get a participation fee. The possibility of winning cash seems to be the impetus, as most of these swimmers eye personal best times as evidenced before the latest match day.
So today I expect my team to give their 100% in the pool so that we can win the team today. And I want to beat my PB, which is 13.5, to get 12. And I hope all my teammates get the PB, the best time they want to get.
I'm expecting myself to beat my PB, and I'm expecting my teammates to beat their PB, and I'm expecting to win Colts.
The competition will continue next Friday with action at British School, Kampala.
Did you know that swimming was one of the most healthy swimming activities, or should I say effective swimming activities or physical activities there is out there, because it works on all parts of your body, your arms, your abs, and your legs? Which reminds me, whether leisure swimming is back since the COVID-19, SOPs. I might be getting back to the pool anytime soon. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. My name is Wadulo Arnold, Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. It's the news tonight, and thank you. Have yourselves a very lovely week.
There's an eruption that is going on between the border of Congo and Rwanda, but we thank God that is not affecting us yet. Kutesa Mili with today's weather update. There is slight reduction in the amount of rainfall, most especially in the southern part of our country, though in the northern part of our region, they're still having rainfall. Gulu with a maximum of 66.7 millimeters of rainfall. That is pretty much. Kampala is 21.6, Chitugum is 21.5, and Entebbe with the lowest of 3.8 millimeters. This is due to the ridging that is over the tip of South Africa that is pulling the rain belt far away from our country towards the west, hence receiving much rainfall in the northern part of our region and the western, but the rest of the country is still having local effects. Tomorrow morning, though, we expect to wake up with sunny intervals in southwestern part of our country, but the rest of the country is expected to have light showers. Afternoon hour, though, we expect a pick-up of thunder showers in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas like Chitugum, Gulu, and Lira, some other parts of Mbarara that are expected to have sunny intervals. Temperature is up to 30 degrees maximum in the northern part of our country, Alua with 28, Kasesa with 30 degrees Celsius, Kabale Highlands with 25 degrees Celsius, Agapicho State, Kampala with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. You are expected to move around the globe by forecasting sunny conditions in most parts of the globe. Abu Dhabi pretty hot though, with a maximum of 44 degrees Celsius. London is expected to have light showers with a maximum of 12 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC. I remain Tessa Mili. See you tomorrow.